And we are live. My name is Nico Lagan, and I'm too conservative for the conservatives. My co-host, Rob Ambrose, not woke enough for the liberals. So we are the political orphans. Here are the main topics of the day. Pam Bondi will target you for hate speech. Chrystia Freeland is leaving cabinet for a lucrative job as a Ukraine envoy. Ex-police officer Jay Bannister, aka Mad Lab, is joining us at what really happened at the Canada First rally. And finally, the Liberals will be tabling a budget after 6 months of being in power. Get your comments ready because the show starts now. What's going on, man?
What's up, brother? What's happening? How many months? How many months for the budget? 6?
So by the time they table it, it's going to be November 4th. So 6 months.
That's crazy. Well, I'm sure it'll balance itself, though.
100%. 100%. And, you know, I'm curious to see it, but they're saying that he will spend more money than Trudeau, right? The deficit's going to be even higher with him than with Trudeau. Well, just look at how he's been spending money left, right, and center. So,
well,
yeah.
Have you seen the jobs numbers? They're coming up higher and higher every month. Lots of job losses. It ain't looking good.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things I want to talk about, I did like probably 3 hours of research on this today, but so here's what the food banks of Canada had to say. The cost of necessities like food and rent has gone up 25% in the past 4 years alone. 25%. So I went through all the calculations and everything today. I have this one's probably going to take a good 30 minutes to speak about it, but it's insane. I ran through all the numbers. I have a good video where she explains it. I want to reach out to her to see if we can get her on the show to come speak as the CEO at Food Banks Canada. I'm not going to hold my breath, but hey, it doesn't cost me anything to send an email, right?
Yeah, that's right.
There's a bunch of stuff, man. Like I don't know. We have somebody coming in 9 minutes. So we'll get a quick one in. I don't know if you heard about this. You know Pam Bondi, obviously.
Yeah, I did hear a little bit about it. Give us a background.
Man, there's not really any background except like, what the fuck are you talking about, woman? That's the only background that I could really give you. But basically what she's saying is that they will start going after people for hate speech. That's a Republican that is saying that they will go after hate speech.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Man, does she not see how this is gonna be backfire big time?
Well, I don't know.
That is. Why do you want to hand the left that kind of a weapon?
Well, you know, man, that's always the problem, right? When you have, when you and I have spoken about this so many times before, but when you have somebody going after free speech, it's always a problem. I don't care who you are. Don't matter to me that you're conservative, you're liberal, you're Republican, you're Democrat. If you're telling me that you're going to go after hate speech, I'm like, fuck you. I don't want the government to be responsible for telling me what I can and cannot say. Just look at what's going on in the UK and you're getting arrested for a tweet.
Absolutely.
Because right now it's a Republican, but what's to say that 4 years from now it's not a Democrat?
And it is gonna, and it's always the leftists who use this. I don't know why they would give them that weapon, you know. And of course it's one of those things where in theory maybe it might sound okay to go after quote unquote hate speech, even though I don't even really think it does in theory. But some people might agree that that's a good thing. But of course, the big question is who decides what is hate speech? Because I promise you, it's going to be used against you at some point.
Obviously. And you know, the worst part is that I called it as in the powers that be would try to further divide the left and the right.
Yep.
It didn't work. it seems like the woke is getting separated from the
from the sane
non-woke
left.
liberals. So
Yep.
now it almost looks like conspiracy theories for you guys, but it almost looks like now the Republican are like, we need to divide some more.
Oh, Nico, your mic went off. Just while you turn that on, let's Alberta Nan. She says, even gents, hello to you.
You can
Alberta
hear me now, right?
Yeah, I got you now. Anastasia, missed you guys. Yeah, we missed you too. We were out yesterday, but we're back and better than ever.
That's very
Logan White, bonjour, gents.
Bon.
Anastasia says Sean Fraser said today they're bringing back Bill C-63. Is that the hate speech bill? Bill C-63? For some reason, I think it is. Let me do a quick C-63. It is the Online Harms Act. That's so ridiculous, man. So yeah, it's the hate speech bill. That is bad. That is such bad news. Oh yeah. Come back. Yes, Anastasia says yes, it is. Yeah, that's just such terror. Again, like I'm reading it now here. It says proposed to address harmful content online, particularly for children, by imposing duties of care on social media platforms, aims to regulate content as child sexual abuse, non-consensual intimate images, hate speech, and bullying, which of course all sounds good in theory, right? Who could be against that? But of course, the devil's in the details. They say something like that, oh, it's against hate speech. And then they're arresting people for saying that men can't give birth or women can't have penises, or humans can't change sex. Men cannot become women. Or criticizing immigration, right? Not even immigrants, immigration policy. Now this all becomes hate speech. And basically whatever goes against the government's narrative becomes hate speech. Logan White says, in other words, turn us into the UK. Fuck that. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like we all see what's going on in the UK. Jay, I can see you down there. Nico's just coming back in, and once he's back in here, we'll bring you on and introduce you. But yeah, I mean, anyone who's on the internet these days on social media, we all see those videos, right? We see the clips of it's usually 4 or 5 cops knocking on someone's door. Some poor 60 or 70-year-old guy or woman knocking on the door at 3 a.m. to discuss the problematic tweet that they made earlier in the day. And it's really like, it's very dystopian, right? You've got these cops, there's 4 or 5 of them knocking on the door. Sometimes they won't even tell you what the tweet is. Just, you got to come down to the station. Turns out they'll go down to the station. They'll have a 8 or 9 hour interview, and then charges will get dropped. And of course, the process is the punishment, right? It's designed to instill fear, designed to make it so that people do not say unpopular things, anything against the narrative. Hey, wise guy, what's going on, brother? Logan White says, did you see that Trump was going to try to push RICO charges against George Soros and his son? I mean, yeah, I haven't seen that. And also, guys, while waiting for Nico, just keep them coming. Throw something in the comments there to give me something to talk about, because Nico does all the preparation, right? So I'm just sitting up here shooting the shit. But as far as that goes, I mean, if there's actual evidence against it, I'm all for it. I'd like to see. I don't like to see political prosecutions. Obviously, Donald Trump should be against those. I'm sure if they look hard enough, they can probably find something on Soros and son. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's something you want to see sort of proven in a court of law. But yeah, back to this this hate speech bill, Bill C-63. I thought we really dodged a bullet by having the election with that cell tabled, and then I thought we weren't going to bring that up. It's really shocking that why would they bring this up, right? This is not a popular bill. There's no real need for it. But yeah, it's very concerning. It's sort of a very dystopian turn that I'm not entirely shocked to see, but I am disappointed to see. Guys, we are of course talking. We've got a guest, Jay from Shit, where is Jay from? It'll be up here in a second. Mad Lab, yeah, Mad Lab Press going to speak with us here soon in a few minutes about what really happened during the Canada First rally. He was a police officer for 23 years, and now he's going to talk about what he saw there. Apparently, it's some pretty interesting stuff. It seems like the Charlie Kirk thing is really just getting out of the news. I think it's actually really surprising in a way how much that grabbed the cultural zeitgeist. Clearly he isn't just a right-wing influencer. One thing that me and Nico were just talking about that I thought I was talking about someone else the other day today, and it seems interesting how, rather than, I think when this first happened, a lot of people were thinking this would divide the right and left even more. And what it seems to be doing is dividing the left, the sane lefties and liberals from the whack job far left, woke left. I think what happened is actually the other thing that was really interesting is I think it's also a cultural sort of watershed moment for liberals realizing how much the media lies. I think what they, obviously I think the right already is pretty, doesn't have too much faith in the media in general these days, but it's interesting now to see so many liberals being like, wait a minute, we were all told that this guy's a racist, this guy's a homophobe, this guy's a bigot, and now they're bombarded with clip after clip after clip of Charlie Kirk just being a decent guy. And everything that they said about him, right? Whether it was Stephen King saying that he wanted gays to be stoned to death or that he was against the Civil Rights Act, it came, they would post clips. We saw clip after clip after clip of the context of those comments, and it was almost always the exact opposite of what was said. For example, the stoning and gays things. He was actually using that. He was quoting Leviticus to counter up another argument from another conservative who was using Leviticus to make a point. And he was saying, well, hold on now. We shouldn't always take the Bible explicitly literally, because look, here they say we should stone gays, and clearly we shouldn't do that. So he was actually saying the exact opposite of what they said about him. And it's really funny seeing all the normie libs, common sense liberals, who are having their first taste of, oh shit, the media lies like crazy. Like they're just making shit up. Nico looks like he's back here. Are you all set? No, he's going to come back in and get his microphone working there. All right, so let's go back to a couple of the comments here. Wise guy says, who thinks they had Freeland resign because Trump hates her guts?
Has nothing to do with it.
Is that,
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
No, it has nothing to do with it.
Okay. Oh shit. No, it just kicked again. That's so weird. All right, see. Do you have that other mic that you got there? Your Apple one. Logan says, it seems like Pierre's back to doing the same old thing of blaming the government instead of concrete solutions, shaking my damn head. Yeah, I mean, Poilievre's all about slogans, right? He's kind of just the classic politician, doesn't really say a whole lot. He's very good at saying a lot of words that don't say anything. Albert and Ann, power and control. Yeah, talking about Bill C-63. Absolutely. That's what it is. It's about being able to criminalize speech that the government doesn't want people to have. So they'll call it hate speech, but it could be something as simple as, I don't like the way immigration policy is. I don't like the direction the country's going. And of course, they'll call you racist, they'll call you a bigot, and they'll arrest you for hate speech. Logan says, liberals say they're against political violence, but won't show it by observing a moment of silence for Charlie. Well, yeah, I mean, much of what you hear the liberals say they're against political violence is pretty clearly they are, right? It's, hey, it'll be something like, I'm against political violence, wink, wink, but, that bigot had it coming kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't think, I don't really buy it when I hear that.
Can you hear me now?
I got you. Yeah, it actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's, my internet is so bad that my microphone's taking too much bandwidth. They're doing construction here, and they keep on breaking shit. We lost almost, like, we had no water earlier on. Fucking cool. I think Jay's been waiting for a while.
Yeah, he's been waiting
Or Jay.
patiently. I was like, Jay, brother, you're gonna have to wait there because I don't know. I don't even know how to do the intro here. Nico's
No problem.
the
I
research
got
guy.
you. All to say that we will show. I'll show the Pam Bondi video afterwards. It's literally 30
Yep,
seconds,
of
so
course.
it's not very long. But I have a nice intro for our friend Jay here. So Jay's an ex-police officer. Well, ex-police officer Jay Bannister, aka Mad Lab Press, is going to join us right now. We spoke for the first time today, and we're going to talk about what really happened at the Canada First rally. Jay, what's going on, man?
How are you, gentlemen?
Hey, Jay.
Nice to be on your show.
What's happening, brother?
Sorry
not
for
much.
the mess up, man. It seems that it's
All
one of
good.
those days, huh?
All good, all good.
It's one of the followers here. I can't remember who it was, but somebody told me that we definitely knew we had to speak to you. I guess CSIS is definitely listening. Eh?
Oh, 100%, because I'm on.
I've had problems. Now Rob just got kicked off. Nice. That's
As soon as you say Mad Lab Press, the CSIS come in.
Oh, bro, we don't even need that much help. We're capable of doing that by ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always interesting when everything stops working properly. It's coincidence, right? The problem is I
Exactly.
don't believe in coincidences. So we'll give Rob a couple of minutes. See, he's coming back right now. So if you want to give an idea to the audience who you are, because I think most of them know you, but if you want to give a small idea, give us an idea of what you do and why you do it. Actually,
Definitely one of those days.
It's CSIS, bro.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, I was a police officer for 24 years in Toronto. Spent most of my career at 53 Division. I worked on most units within the service, whether it's the detective units, bike units, undercover. I did it all. I got really, really sick and tired of seeing the corruption and how the police not only treat the public but their employees. And you know how you go into Facebook and TikTok and all those pages, and you see the Toronto Police and other police services talking about Mental Health Awareness Week and whatnot. That is a complete crock of horse shit. It really, really is. And every police officer that's watching now will know that exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to the police not caring about, like, not only their own but the public as well. So I couldn't take it anymore. I retired, quit, and I started my channel Mad Lab Press, where I follow police activity, whether it's whether it's in Canada or the US. I like to film most of my encounters, and I hold them accountable. That's pretty much what I do.
They don't like you. I was watching a couple of your videos. They recognize you too. Eh? Like, oh, look who's here. So
Yeah. Well, last year I was pulled over for a dark license plate cover and ended up getting close to $7,000 worth of fines. Yeah.
That's it.
Going-
$7,000.
It's a long story, but the guy knew who I was. He took exception to me talking back to him. So 52 days later, he went to the courts and issued me a summons, 6 more summons, totaling almost $7,000, just out of spite, right? So, yeah, that's what I get when I go to Toronto. I get pulled over, I get harassed. Yeah, they don't like me very much. So,
Where are you from? Where are you normally?
and what do you mean? Where do I live? Or
Yeah. Where do you reside? Yeah.
I'm in close to Burlington in Ontario.
So
It's about an
you're
hour
west-
from Toronto.
Yeah, you're west of Toronto. Okay.
That's right.
So the reason we started talking, well, you and I had a conversation today about what you did, and I found it interesting that you were at the Canada First rally last weekend, and you put a video out. I have it right here. I listened to it today, actually, after we spoke. So here's the video you put out, but there's a few things you and I spoke about that needed to be
Yeah.
looked at. I have a bit more. I've been through it, and there's a few things that I've sound like, that sounds shady as hell. What the hell's going on there? So I'm gonna ask for you to kind of tell us what's going on. But the first thing you wanted to mention was at 9 minutes or so, and this is obviously when the guy rips, as you're going to see now, rips the flag off of the hockey stick.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, there's something I wanted to say is you mentioned something when we spoke earlier that some of the counter protesters were hiding in the protests as regular protesters waiting to pounce on people. Did I hear that right? Because I saw it through the video, but that's what you said earlier, right?
100%. They were mixing and mingling with all the Canada First crowd, and the police were it seemed to me like the police were letting certain groups through and stopping certain groups. And the way they conducted their bike units, which basically steered the parade into a safe direction, it was horrible, because I was right at the very front of the parade, and they were taking us down side streets and basically boxing us in. It was really unsafe from what I saw. And I've been to hundreds of protests in my career, and this one was I was pretty shocked at what I saw and how they handled. It was bad.
Before we actually show some of the videos you wanted to show, do you think that was done on purpose?
It's hard. It's hard to say. It really is. But it seemed to me odd that a lot of the Antifa people, all with their masks on and they're dressed all in black, that were mingling with the Canada First crowd. And I saw it numerous times where they just punch somebody or smack somebody's camera and then just take off into the crowd, and the police do absolutely nothing.
We heard that the other day.
Yeah.
So from I believe True North Transparency, who was here on the show, he said he saw the cops basically just shooting the shit with these guys before the protest.
Oh yeah,
with the
they've been told from management, Chief Dumq, that do not support Canada First. They are the enemy. That's my personal opinion, and that's the vibe that I got there. That we are the enemy, and that it seemed to me that Antifa and the other far left group that was there were being coddled by the Toronto police.
So you know what? Let's get into the video, and this is the first part. That's what you referred to as the first fight. So I'm gonna play it off, and then just tell us what really happened.
Right here, fucking assault.
So basically, if we go back, that's Joe, the main organizer of the protest, gets his. I'm just gonna cut the sound so it's easier for you to talk through it. But like he takes it off, and the guy seems to be just wandering right next to them, which kind of blew my mind.
Well, it's funny you say that, because not only have a few of my subscribers emailed me about this, but the guy who got arrested, if you want to play it again, watch closely. It really looks like he's working with the police here. He was right beside that bike officer when he first came in.
Hold on. So let's see because I didn't notice where he came from.
He was on the street, and he was with two bike officers, and then he just appeared in between those two police scout cars there. Out of nowhere. There he is right there. And then he starts yelling, "Nazi, Nazi."
And
And
then
then
they arrest him.
after I left, I didn't see him again. It was like the police just kind of like just cut him loose.
Who do you think that was? Do you think it? So, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth here, but are you trying to insinuate that that guy had something to do with the police? That he either they let him happen or it was kind of a plant?
In my personal opinion, it seemed a little strange to me that he would do that to the lead or to the head of Canada First, almost baiting him to fight back so the police could arrest. I think his name is Jeff.
Joe. Yeah,
Joe. Sorry, Joe.
Yep.
I that's what it seemed like to me. Like they wanted to really arrest Joe, and this was kind of like he tore his flag down. I think if he really wanted to do anything, he would have assaulted him personally.
They were targeting him.
Yes, that's just my opinion. But from what the video shows to me,
it seemed like they were going.
But he didn't react. Huh? Kudos to him. That's one thing I've noticed. No reaction whatsoever. He just continued walking because you'll see him if you look at him again, he gets the flag ripped off right there. He doesn't even stop. Like the guy's right behind him there. He's talking. I think he's talking to him. Yeah, because he's right there. And then he takes it off, and it's like Joe's so used to it. He's just like, yep, nope, I'm not dealing with that one. And he just continues walking. I don't know that I would have been as patient as him.
I don't know if the police would have arrested him. That was me pointing him out, by the way. I said he just assaulted him and they grabbed him. But
oh, you're the one screaming that was assault.
That was me.
You're the
that
one.
was me. Yeah. So they know who I am, right? And they see me with a camera down there and everybody's around me. So, they're obviously going to say, oh shit, we got to arrest this guy now. If you want to rewind it again, you can see me have my arm out. I'm like, that guy just assaulted. And then they lunged at him and arrested him.
One of the things before I replay it, can you explain how's that possible? Why are the people from the Canada First protests on the sidewalk while all the counter protesters are given free access to the street and on the other side of the street? Because that whole thing is very strange. When I looked at the other videos, it didn't seem that off. But your video exposed it I don't understand what I'm looking at. I've been to a lot of protests myself. I've never seen counter protesters in the middle or even allowed to do that. We know that if you try to do that, to ask Daisy what happens when you try to go to a Free Palestine protest by yourself with your cell phone. The police will do everything possible to remove you from the area. Chris Daisy, that is Daisy Media. Yet look at that. They're allowed to be there, no problem. It's almost like they're protected.
They were. They were. And it's like they just let Antifa say, you know what? Go mingle, guys. Go do your thing. And that's exactly what happened. And the way they kettled everybody into one, they kept funneling everybody, protesters from both sides, into one little area, and that's where it starts to boil, right? So they don't know
what was your opinion on the numbers? Obviously, it seems like the counter protesters outnumbered them, but are we talking 2-1, 3-1? Was it even close?
I would say 3-1 on their side.
So there was 3 times more counter protesters than they were protesters for. Yes. And
you wonder if that purchase your crowds or crowds on demand is
crowds on demand. Yeah,
we had that guy on the other day, Nico Tornio.
Oh, I tore into him. I ended up what a sleazebag. That guy's such. You know what I'm talking about, right? Crowds on demand. There's a company called Crowds on Demand in the U.S. that supplies protesters for a cost. They will bus people around the U.S. to be part of your protest as long as you pay their salary, basically.
George Soros kind of deal.
100%. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah. Allegedly, that's what it sounds like. But the guy was such a sleazebag. He would not answer any questions. Made it sound like he was a moral guy trying to help grassroots movements. Yeah, sure, cool story, bro. But
Yeah.
This just seems
He
off to
definitely
me.
tried to put. Go ahead.
No. You go for it because you were there.
I was just
too,
gonna
right?
say. I was definitely gonna say he's definitely trying to put lipstick on that pig, and it wasn't. We were even saying later, like, just lean into the sleeves, bro. You're never gonna make this a respectable job. Just
No,
be the
embrace it.
hey, capitalism, bro. If you don't like it,
Yeah,
move
fuck
to
off.
China.
I'm here to make money. I
Yeah,
would have
exactly.
at least respected him for saying that, but he didn't have the balls to say that.
No,
But Jay, the question I asked that to True North's Transparency because he's in the audience right now. He was on the show on Sunday. The thing that kind of bothers me is that I was surprised of how small that crowd was. Because at one point, I think it's around the 16 minutes area. Well, before I go there, I'll show it a bit later, but I was kind of surprised by the size of the crowd. Like, is it that? Do you think that's because Canadians haven't had enough yet? Because you look on the same day in the UK, mainstream media is reporting 110,000 people, yet I've seen the videos. I've been in crowds of 100,000 people. That shit was not 100,000 people. You're looking at least 1 million people showed up, and we saw estimates all the way to 3 million. But do you think that Canadians have not had enough yet?
Yes, I think we're on the verge. We're on the verge of it, but we're a society where everything is based on university education. And I was talking with True North Transparency about this the other day. We shouldn't say every, but the majority of professors in Canada are far left, and they're teaching our university students, their views and political agendas. And all these people are coming out of universities. They're getting into high paid positions, and they're basically taking over like mass immigration in Canada. So we're getting double penetrated from both sides.
I couldn't agree with you more. Now, if we go back to your video, there's a couple of things because there's another moment. I think it was around the 20 minute 50 seconds mark. But before I go there, there's a few things I wanted you to explain because that part didn't make sense to me. So around your 12 minutes 28, yeah, around here. So you guys look like you're on not Dundas, but you guys were on.
That's Bloor Street.
It's Bloor Street. So
Yeah.
you guys are on Bloor Street, which is Bloor and Dundas are arguably the two busiest streets in Canada. Like Bloor and Dundas is probably the busiest intersection in Canada.
Yonge and Dundas is the busiest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bloor Street, Dundas Street, all the streets are crazy busy. Yeah.
So why are they funneling you? Because you guys were walking around on Bloor Street like all good. Bloor, let's walk on Bloor Street. Yay. And then at that intersection, I wasn't able to find what the intersection is. They're funneling you to the right to a small cross street. Why did they do that?
I have no idea. So where they're positioned right now, that street is 1 block west of Spadina, which is a major street that goes north and south.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Joe's plan was to walk down Bloor Street all the way to Yonge Street and then make a right, which you're going to go south onto Yonge, right to Dundas Square. It's really simple, plain and simple. Just before we get to Spadina, this cop right here, and if you look to the left when you play the video, there's a superintendent there. He's a white shirt, basically telling everybody to now stop, block the street off, and then send us down this tiny little street, which is bizarre.
That guy right here?
Yeah, the guy with
his hat right there?
Exactly. Yeah, he's wearing that Forge hat.
Like this guy here.
That's him. So if you just pause it right there.
Oh, that's the guy driving the Hyundai that you went to at the end and you made fun. Must be nice to have a brand new car, eh, bro?
Yeah, that's
okay,
him.
So that's him, yeah.
So what they're doing here is what I saw is everybody dressed in red and with a flag. They were sending down the street. Then they were letting all the people like Antifa and all the other people walk down to Spadina and basically circle around us. Do you know what I mean? Like they were going to flank us. So they're going to go down the street, make a right, and then they would meet us at that street. It was planned for 100% planned that way.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
so you guys are going down, you're walking down. At one point you run into the prosecutor. What's the blonde prosecutor? I don't remember what her name is, but you ran into her like literally.
Oh, the counselor?
Yeah, the counselor. Sorry.
Oh,
Yes.
Lisa Robinson.
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm like, hey, that's
Oh
her,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like she just pops out of nowhere around here somewhere.
Yeah, she was right inside the parade. She was a trooper.
So you guys continue
I
down
heard
that
she
path.
gave a pretty good speech.
Yeah, they were all. It was a great day. I had a good time, but like I said, I was shitting my pants for most of the day. I really was. I was nervous.
That's her right there, right?
Yeah, that's her.
That's what I thought. She looked familiar when I was looking at it. I was watching the video earlier. But you know what? You just said something that I actually wanted to ask you. When did you start getting nervous?
Well, I got there. I met True North Transparency down there, and I was with Section 2B also. And
You guys
when
all know each other, eh?
yeah, it's a pretty small community. So when I got there, we got out of my car, and I started walking towards the park, and right away you have that vibe. Like it was like that chant coming from like the Antifa. And I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be one of those days. Cause like I said, I've seen these 100 times before that, right from the beginning if it's going to be a shit show or not. And right away, as soon as I walked into the park, I'm like, okay, this is going to be one of those days. And it was.
But were you nervous that something bad was going to happen? Did that bother you?
I got to be honest. I wasn't really concerned about anybody else except myself. I thought that, like I'm not saying I'm a huge popular person or anything, but somebody down there doesn't like, my views or opinions and the way things are going now. Like, somebody could stick me in the back with something or throw something on me. Like, there was a lot of really angry Antifa guys down there. So,
I was on a podcast with Jason Levine and Chris Dacey the other day, because Chris Dacey does a lot of that stuff in Ottawa, right? And he's been assaulted before, he's been jumped, he's been robbed. Like there's a lot of stuff that's happened to that guy. And I'm a martial artist, right? I've done 20 years of martial art. I don't fuck around with people. You want to play with me? Awesome. We'll find out what happens. And I was telling him the other day, we need to stop being so naive because I've done a lot of street interviews, and often I did them by myself or I had somebody recording, but I never really paid that much attention. Like I was aware, self-awareness was there, but I wasn't worried that I was going to get attacked. But I haven't done those interviews in about 2 years, and it seems like the climate has completely changed over the past 2 years. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Chris Dacey last week is you guys need to be more careful. You guys need to start bringing muscle with you. They're not there to engage, but just there to make sure that when you're recording, you don't just get stabbed in the back. And the message is for the people in the audience, the people that are going to listen to this show, is one of the reasons I wanted to have you on is I like what you do. I think you need more exposure. But at the same time, guys, most of us do this alone. We don't have a team of people helping us. It's just us doing it. And it's hard. It's already hard to create good content and make sure that we're on top of things. So if you guys like what Jay's doing, if you like what True North is doing, if you like what all the other content creators that go out there like Chris Dacey do, support those guys and show up. Just show up, protect their backs. Because I offered that to Billboard Chris, because last time he was in Montreal, he got jumped, he got attacked. And I'm like, bro, just let me know next time you're here, man. I got you. I'll show up with a camera too. I'll record some stuff, but I got your back. So guys, if you're listening to this, and you believe in what they're doing, reach out to them, help them out. Just be there. Just the fact that they see somebody in your back. Those guys are cowards. At the end of the day, they're never gonna attack you head first. They're a bunch of pussies. But you guys could use the muscles, right?
Yeah, it always helps. And I do have a lot of support out there. I see a lot of people when I was out there on Saturday, saying, "Hey, Mad Lab, got your back." It's really appreciated. But at the end of the day, I want to go home to my family, and you know, I'm 54 years old, so I got to watch myself these days. And in the past 6 months, I've been attacked twice for filming. The first time I was attacked in downtown Hamilton. I was doing a live, and the guy pulled out a hatchet on me. And
Really?
yeah, and he had it's all on video, and he had a baton. He was going to beat me with a baton. Then they were throwing rocks at my head. And then the second time was about maybe 3 months ago, downtown Toronto. This big guy. It's hard to explain, but it's called the Bond Hotel, and they've converted it into like a co-op housing. And he was one of the tenants there, and he came out. He didn't want himself on camera. Anyway, he ended up beating me up. He smashed my Ray-Ban Meta $600 glasses. And the catalyst is that the Toronto police came, they investigated it, and I've heard absolutely nothing from them, except they threatened to arrest me for defending myself for assault.
Of course,
that's what I get from the Toronto police, ridiculous. Right? So what's the point of calling the police anymore? So that's another reason why I have to be careful too, because the police aren't going to be there for me. So
yeah, that's right. Wise guy says, I was surprised there weren't a ton of Muslim and Palestinian sympathizers there. Yeah, they cost extra. They couldn't afford them. Yeah, well, they're double priced.
But hold on here. See, here is a clash between them, and you can see that there is Israel committing genocide right there. And when you guys went, I think you were in the Dundas Square. There's a bunch of people with their Free Palestine sign, like
they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Yeah. They have nothing else to do, so they just come down.
Yeah, don't get me started on this, because the people I always notice in those crowds are always see, here you go, kind of prove my point. I'm just gonna show this. So Israel right there, then Black Lives Matters. So has nothing to do with Canada First, like zero to do with Canada First, but it's always the same people. It's always Antifa, Free Palestine.
I'm not sure if anybody else that was down there on Saturday noticed, but to me, it noticed that there was multiple groups.
And the counter protesters.
Yeah, but way more than usual. You know, there's an Antifa and then a sub section of Antifa, and then there's another political group, and then there's like trans groups, and it's really bizarre.
So as someone who hasn't really been to one of these, I live in Atlantic, Canada, and New Brunswick. It's not really a hotbed of protests. Are the Antifa guys pretty obvious to tell, to pick out? You can see them, eh?
I can't tell anymore, to be honest with you. They all look the same. No, I can't tell.
That's right.
I can't tell.
It is. Just look for the sick-looking people, because that is the other side. They're either wearing masks,
the canes and hobbling and crippled and masks,
pasty skin, broken teeth.
Yeah. Yep, pasty skin.
Well, the trans love the masks, right? Because obviously you can hide, it hides your man face. But that's,
you've been fooled before, eh, Rob? The mask I've fooled you before.
Go put that shit back on, and then finish what you're doing.
What I really encourage people to do is, if you're going to attend any of these protests, and I was just thinking about this the other night, if you're going to attend any of these protests, hang around to the end. Because all these Antifa and all these lefty hooligans that come out and assault people, they always like to stay to the end. And when they don't think anybody's around, they take off their masks, start recording them. You know, let them know that we're still watching you after the fact, right? So
I think masks should be banned from protests.
Yeah,
just civil society, but certainly protests. It definitely emboldens people to commit crimes, or at least behaviors that they otherwise might not.
I don't think it should be banned, because I don't like banning stuff. I don't like at all. But if you are wearing a mask while committing a crime, it should 5 times it or something. There should be a multiplier.
Aggravated offense. Yeah.
As soon as you're wearing a mask and you do something, it becomes aggravated. Yeah. See, I'd rather that.
I agree.
Just a lot harsher penalty.
Yep.
Well, have you seen that thing in the UK where it's that spray they're using now? Have you seen that?
No. How's that go?
What are you talking about?
So they go to a protest, and these Antifa people with the masks on, and you can't tell through facial recognition, is they have a can of, it looks like kind of like a big can of pepper spray.
Like,
And if you're running away
reflects.
from them, yeah. So if you're running away from them, they just spray you, and you can't get it off your clothing, and it sticks on your hair and all this stuff, and it's an identifier. Yeah.
Oh shit, man. People are
So I guess they have
savages.
special machines or something that can detect this color or solvent on you or something. So
I
it's a
think
pretty
it's
cool
called
idea.
CS gas. It's the
Is
same
it?
thing that they used in. Is it the same thing that they're spraying on statues? They're spraying on paintings. They're spraying like it's orange. Is that what you're
I'm not
talking
sure.
about?
I'm not sure, but I saw it on. I'm not sure if you guys watch Charlie Veach at all.
I
One of
don't
his
know.
one of his videos. He's a big auditor in the UK, and one of his videos he had huge protest, anti-immigration protest, and a lot of the police had this can where they were just spraying certain people that were like trying to take off from them and throwing rocks and stuff. So
Mm.
yeah.
So they're basically using them.
Hang on.
They're using the spray in order to identify them later on. in
Yeah,
case
so I
they
think
get
it's an
away from them.
invisible. I think it's an invisible spray, so that people don't know that they've been sprayed. So they walk by a detector or something, then they can say, "Well, that person has been involved in something that the police want to question him or something." So
So it doesn't show. So you're saying that the spray itself does not show on your clothes.
yeah, it's like like black light. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
black. It's probably kind of like a black light thing.
Jesus.
I think it's a fantastic idea. They don't know that they're, it's on their clothing or something, and
Yeah, it's a fantastic idea for them, not so much for the people that were just there to protest, because
yeah,
let's be honest, they're probably not tagging the Antifa people. If I can look at some part of the video, because there was another part you wanted me to show, and it's the part at 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes, where you guys start walking again. And then, you know what? It's the guy right here. You can see my mouse, right? I saw him when Joe was talking, and he was kind of talking to the people. I'm like, what? Why is that guy there? Because he's basically, his sign is saying that don't blame immigration for no jobs type of deal. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but
yeah.
that's around what he was saying. But this is again, the guy was wearing a mask too. That should have been a clear giveaway. But how did the police not do anything about this? Because again, that's assault, right?
Well, there was police surrounding me, but not because of me. They were just around me, and whenever they saw something, they didn't do anything. It wasn't serious stuff, but and to a point, I can see how they wouldn't want to start like a riot or something for something minor, but
Yeah,
at the
but that's
same
assault.
time,
Like,
at the same time,
at
yes,
the perfect time.
this-
That's
yeah.
assault. Her hands.
This for sure.
her-
This for sure. She should have been arrested, and there was police there at the time. So
So, do you? Because this is what it comes down to. Do you think that they did that in order to prevent a riot, or they simply did not? They were told not to touch them.
I think that somebody, how can I put this? It seemed to me that certain people were purposely instigating the Joe, the leader of this whole thing, and I think they were trying to get a reaction out of him the entire time he was there. It was like bees on a hive. And I think they were wanting him to get arrested. And I think once he got arrested, the rest of the crowd would dissipate and just, especially on the side street here. They have us all caged in here, right here. And it kind of reminded me of G20 because we're blocked off on every street right here. It's like a cross, and we're blocked off the entire street.
And you know what? That's what they continue. As you can see, they continue walking next to you as you guys are walking down the street.
Yeah.
They're right there. Like it's the couple that's right there. And that's another one. That's another one that obviously you just look at him. He's 90 pounds,
Yeah,
soaking
yeah.
wet. You know, that guy is hurling.
Yes, he had a
insults.
stick in his hand too.
But this absolutely blows my mind that the police is right there. Nothing. Like, they don't do, like, obviously those two are not with you guys. Like, obviously, you can see.
No, they're not. They weren't with
No,
us.
I don't think I needed to explain it. You just take a look at them, and
Yeah.
you know where they stand.
Yeah.
But it really blows my mind. Like, see, the police is right there. You have police there, and obviously there's police to the left of you. But they didn't do anything. They allowed this to happen, and not only that, but they funneled you down that street. And I think what street is this now? This is Bathurst.
That's Bathurst Street. So if we kept going straight, that becomes almost like a dead end street. So I think they were trying to get us down right into the end there. That's what I think they were trying to do. And then, have him arrested or something like that, and then shut down the whole parade. Crazy.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't, because I've been to some massive protests. Like, obviously I was at the Freedom Convoy when it was there. I was at all the protests in Montreal and Ottawa, and there were some of the protests. There were 100,000 people right there. So the police could not play those games. There was no way the police were telling us where we could and could not go. We were basically telling the police where we were going, right? But in this case, I'm just surprised how small it was. That really did surprise me. Did it surprise you?
Yeah, it really did. I thought we would crush the other side with the participants, but when I saw how many there was, I was like, oh man, it was a little disheartening, I gotta say.
It definitely did bother me to not see more people. At the same time, I guess I'm responsible because I wasn't there either. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy for me to say that there wasn't a lot of people there, but I wasn't there either. So, but yeah, it blows my mind.
Well, what I don't understand is, I'm not sure if it was Joe that organized this whole thing by Christy Pitt, but that area is a very, very left area. Like, that's one of the biggest left areas in Toronto. So I just find it kind of odd that it was started there in the first place.
I'm pretty sure he did it on purpose. There's one of the videos that he addresses that,
Is
if I'm
it?
not mistaken.
Okay.
And I think that was done on purpose, as in there would be a lot of counter people.
Right.
I don't want to put words into his mouth because he did not tell me that directly. But I think he was hoping the same thing as us, that there would be a lot more people there.
Yeah.
And you're kind of putting it in the face of the anti-protesters that were not a small bunch of people that are going anywhere. So yeah, I'm just disappointed. I thought there would be a lot more people. No disrespect to Joe by any stretch of the imagination. No disrespect to anybody that went there. I just thought that I saw that thing all over the place. Like, I saw it posted, shared. I shared it. It was posted all over the place, and yet there doesn't seem to be a lot of people that showed up.
Yeah, but I went to one of his in I believe it was February of this year, and it was half of what we had there on Saturday. So it is growing, which is a good sign. More than that. There was way more than that happened in February. So
it's probably just that people are not fed up with it enough yet. But when you guys were facing this, I don't even understand how it looks like that was a setup when you guys were all facing each other, because literally you split it in the middle. You have 3-4 police officers that cannot even touch their toes. They're not going to protect anything. If both sides decide to rush in the middle, sorry, police officers, but you're not standing a chance.
yeah.
So it definitely looks like it was set on purpose. Like, this looks like, I was looking at this, I'm like, man, that's a face-off. I used to fight. And you stare in somebody's face for the photo op, that's exactly what it looks like. Like, okay, you guys are ready, go.
Yeah, well, there was myself, True North Transparency, Section 2B, Jeff Saposinic, his crew. There was about 12 or 13 of us there, and we all said the same thing to each other, that it's really, really eerie. It was like a weird vibe in the air, that everybody's mingling with one another, like protesters and Canada First, and it was just like it was very weird, very strange. I've never seen it before like that.
You mean even both sides, like protesters and counter protesters were
yeah,
mingling?
but it wasn't and I'm not saying it's because I support Canada First, but Canada First had their own group, and they weren't separating; they were just by themselves. And then all of a sudden, everybody just started mingling. Like all the Antifa people started coming into the crowd, and like it was red shirts and black everywhere. It wasn't like red and then black. It was all mixed up, and I found it kind of weird because shit could hit the fan at any second anywhere, right? And there's no way when crowds get together like that you can control them.
And all the respect to Joe, how he held his cool when somebody stole his flag. But right here, like you caught it on camera, look at what he does. I don't know what actually happened, but he's going to turn around towards you. He's not looking at you, but he's looking at someone in your area, and he's just like this, as in calm down. I don't know who he's talking to, but you'll see it like right there. Like, look, boop, right there. He looks just next to you, and he's like, cool down. Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't see it on the
I'm not even sharing the screen. Fucking moron. Look at what he's doing right here. But like right there. So see how. Oops.
Yeah, he was very, very calm considering what was going on. Like he was really calm.
Like right here. So see how he kind of just looks at you, and then he looks off to you, and he's just like, relax. I'm very impressed by the way he handled it. Like he was very relaxed.
Yeah. No, it was impressive. Like my hats off goes up to him.
Is there, thanks for being on the show. I had a bunch of questions. I just wanted to see what type of guy you were, because we've never created anything. We had a small conversation earlier, but I like what you were saying. So thanks for being on the show. But is there something you want to share with the audience? Do you have final thoughts?
Just before you,
people to know? Yeah, go ahead.
Before
Robert.
you go, Jay, a question came in from Logan that I think was pretty good. It says, question from AdLab. For those of us with limited mobility, I believe Logan might be in a wheelchair. But if not, regardless, even if someone was, what do you recommend we do to protect ourselves at these protests? Or do you recommend we just don't go at all?
Just don't go. And I don't mean to sound cynical, but it's not good. Yeah, it's not just that. Like even myself, like I'm very able to defend myself, but I'm scared down there. I really am. And especially someone with limited abilities. I can't even imagine, because once the crowd gets going, you're going to get trampled on. Nobody cares about you down there. Like everybody just tries to get out of there as fast as they can. So I just stay home.
That's what's a shame, man. That right there is a shame. Somebody that wants to show up. This is what blows my mind in those situations, is that you look at all the Free Palestine protests that are taking place all over Canada, from Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, Vancouver, name it, there's some. I never see counter protesters being violent. Some people show up, but mostly as media, right? They never have to face violence. They're normally the ones that are violent, and the only time I've seen counter protesters really to Free Palestine was pride parades, or vice versa. It's the left attacking, it's the woke left attacking the woke left. It's not even unwoke people that are attacking them. Yeah. But the response from the police is what really bothers me here. Is they really seem like they were protecting them there. Because did you notice every single time they showed their back, it was to them? It's like they're preventing you guys from doing something. It's very interesting.
When I was especially down at Dundas Square, that's where everybody gathered at the end. The police circled us like we were the ones who were the troublemakers, and we were surrounded by Antifa. I'm not sure if you could tell in my drone shot that I had there, but
hold on. Where's your drone shot?
At the very beginning.
Oh, this one right here, right?
You'll see. Yeah, there, right here. You'll see all the bikes that go around. That's all of us in the middle. And
yeah, you mean like right here?
Yeah, that's all of us. And this was shot about an hour and a half after everybody arrived there. So everybody started leaving at this point, but we were literally surrounded. And this is actually called Dundas Square.
Yep.
And I will never call it whatever they call it now, but This is an actual square. So from each side, we were surrounded, like right in the middle of the square.
Yeah, you're
And
right here. Those are
yeah.
all police.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
in the video, at one point at the end, you're walking through, and I like right here, you're kind of following the bicycles, and you're like, where am I supposed to fit in here? Like I hear you say, okay, how do I get in? And you
Yeah.
had to go around and find a little opening.
Yeah, so they treat us like the enemy. So that's my opinion. That's what I saw, and that's what I documented. And you can't, video doesn't lie. So,
Brother, good for you for doing what you do. I'm looking forward to having you back on, because as I told you on the phone earlier, we definitely need to help each other. So if you guys are in the same area as you and you're going to a protest, guys, show up, help him out, protect his back, because goddamn, I've seen it time and time again where people get attacked, but at the same time, they're cowards. If you show up, they're not gonna do anything. Like most of them are vegan, pale, and they can't fight. They're cowards. They're not gonna do anything. But showing up to protect your back, to make sure that they don't take advantage of you not looking, is one of the ways you guys can help. So.
well, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And,
Yeah, Jay,
I really appreciate.
If you did have anything to plug.
No, I just people can check out my page and check out my videos, and if you see something that you like, hit the like button and give me a sub. That's all I ask.
And that's MadLab, MADLAB space press, MadLab press on YouTube.
That's right, yeah. And I also, people message me all the time from all over the world to do stories on their family members. I've done quite a few documentaries. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of what's his name now? My mind just went. He was the gunsmith that the Toronto police murdered. Kotaki, Richard Kotaki, Richard Kotaki. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a pretty good one. Then we have
Yeah.
we had the Shermans. You guys ever heard of Barry and Honey Sherman? They were he was a multi-billionaire.
Oh, yeah, they were murdered, right?
They were murdered.
Billionaire,
Yeah,
they're murdered in their basement.
Yeah, I did a documentary on that.
I think I saw that. I think I saw that documentary.
Yeah. So it's fun, and now that I'm retired, I can do whatever the hell I want. So here I am.
Oh, you made that documentary?
Roger. Yeah,
About
I did.
the Shermans. Oh
Yeah.
no way! That's really cool.
Yeah,
I liked that.
sorry.
his voice
my
doesn't
apologies,
match his face.
Roger Kotanko.
His face doesn't
Okay.
match his voice. I'm just kidding. But I was listening to the video earlier because you don't show your face, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah.
That ugly
No,
bastard.
but good job, man.
What do they call it? A face for the radio?
Yeah, butterface, a butterface.
That is not what I said.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking assholes. That is not what I said. How dare you? How dare you insult my butterface? But yeah, man, continue the good work. Anytime you have my email address, you have my phone number.
Yeah, man, keep it up.
Anytime you have something new coming up, let me know. We'll have you on again. Like
Sounds good.
We need to help each other out. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. And,
Yes, brother.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the time.
okay.
Take care, Jay.
Enjoy your night, brother.
Take care.
Bye. Well, there you have it, man.
Yeah, another great guest. Louis DeVitt. Love the show, guys. Right versus left, common sense prevails. Yeah, thanks for that comment, sir. That's exactly what I try to do here. But yeah, and as you see, we often and Nico's the guest whisperer. He always stocks the show pretty full of high quality guests. Every time we have a guest here, I always like, wow, that's a great guest. I don't think the only time I didn't think that was kind of, remember that kooky guy who said viruses aren't real.
Oh shit! Yeah. You're talking about Jesus, and you're talking about a world-known or a world-renowned.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man! I'm drawing a blank.
Seemed like a mad scientist. I mean, it was a fun conversation, but I didn't really feel like it was like, you know what I'm talking about.
It was a bit too conspiracy for you.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I do. Viruses are real. They're a real thing. We can debate like COVID and where it came from, and if government is using it. Yeah, what is his name? I forget.
Oh man, now of course you had to say something stupid like that. Now I have to go back and try to find who that guy is because it's gonna bother
Logan
me now.
says, how much you want to bet Antifa is funded by Crowds on Demand? I mean, not necessarily funded by. Well, and to be fair, like it's not Crowds on Demand funding these things. They're just whores, right? They're prostitutes. They sell to the highest bidder. It's whoever's funding Crowds on Demand.
Wow.
Wise guy says virus has not been proved to be real. It's just I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna get into that debate because I've never seen a virus personally, and maybe they're not real.
Dr.
But I think
Kaufman. Dr. Andy
yes,
Kaufman
that's
is
right.
who you're talking about.
Andy Kaufman, yes,
World-renowned doctor, and Rob doesn't believe him. So
I mean, we could definitely debate whether the seriousness or of something like the COVID virus, but I think the virus itself exists, and even if hypothetically that one doesn't, I do think viruses in general exist. But hey, who knows? Who knows anything about anything? Maybe we're all living in a simulation here, right?
We are all living in a simulation. Yep, I agree. But Antifa's real.
Yes, Antifa's real.
Yeah, obviously. So
yes.
we hold on here. We I tried to play the damn Pam Bondi video earlier, but kept on running into problems. So
see, Taffy is here again. She says most man-made colds are caused by viruses. They seem deadly, but they exist, right? Viruses are real.
I think that was a dig at men saying that we can't handle colds. That's how I saw that comment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, we had a guest there a few months back, and his whole thing was viruses don't exist; they're not real. And I was just saying, like, we usually, like I was saying, we usually have really high quality guests, but that one, I don't know if that was our best. I don't know if that was our best work.
See, I disagree. I really like that guy. And yeah, she's so full of shit.
I would never. Oh, yeah. Sure. Definitely full of
wink,
shit.
Wink. Yeah, I call bullshit on that one.
Yes.
So let's finish the 30-second video I wanted to play earlier. So let's do that. So here is Pam Bondi telling us that she will go after hate speech because of, you guess who? Charlie Kirk.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
I don't know if you want to be giving that weapon around. It's like handing out samurai swords at a kid's birthday party. It's just not wise. Someone's going to get hurt.
The fuck
Someone's
type
gonna
of comparison.
It's just a weapon you don't want to give.
Party you don't want go to. God damn.
Well, do you want to go to a birthday party with a bunch of 6-year-olds wielding samurai swords? I don't.
If I get to hit back, yes.
Oh yeah, I'll dust those kids. Fuck those kids.
If I can get a katana too, and I get to fight back, I'm gonna be looking at a bunch of how do you call those stuff?
Bunch body. Oh yeah, pinatas. Yeah,
I'm gonna see a bunch of pinatas, bro. I'm going for the head. I'm not even going for the head. I'm going for the legs. I'm creating midgets. Fuck this noise.
Yeah. Be Kill Bill in there.
oh yes. What a great movie. What a great movies those are.
Oh, that was such a great movie.
But this is insane. You have the Republicans telling us that they want to go after hate speech. And the hypocrisy in this whole message, I made a video about this earlier, and the hypocrisy here is Charlie Kirk was all for civil discourse.
Yes,
he would have been the first one to tell you.
Horrified. He would be horrified.
And now they're trying to use his death as a way to go after free speech. Like, really?
No.
Really?
You do not want the government. The whole point of free speech is you know, as we say around here all the time, of course we have freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of consequences from speech. So yes, if you get fired because you say something that your employer doesn't like, that's fair play. That's not your freedom of speech being infringed on. But if you're getting arrested, if you're getting charged for a crime because of something you see, then yes, your freedom of speech is being infringed on. And I think Lewis, and we'll go back to that Stephen Dog comment second. I think Lewis really hits a nail on the head here. What the fuck is hate speech? Define it, Blondie. That's exactly it, right? What is hate speech? In theory, it sounds great, right? Who wants hate speech around? The problem is when the people who define hate speech decide, oh, actually, hate speech is anything that criticizes the government. And you see it in the UK. People are being arrested, literally arrested, or at least cops are knocking on the door because they're criticizing immigration policy. That is a very, very dangerous and slippery slope. And it's to see it come from a conservative is crazy. Now, I saw a post from, you know, the Young Turks guy, Cenk, I think his name is, Cenk Uygur or whatever.
He's the big guy, like the bigger guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's a pretty common sense leftist.
No, he's a fucking crazy bastard. Are you kidding me?
No,
that guy's woke as shit. Oh, that guy's woke as shit.
No,
hold on. Oh,
well, it
the
depends
Young
on the
Turks
issue.
are a bunch of twats.
It depends on the issue. On like Palestine, Gaza, they're super woke for sure.
Have you just go see what they say about Charlie Kirk, like on that subject alone? Absolutely,
I mean,
asinine.
Cenk himself has been pretty supportive of Kirk. He said, like, you know, don't agree with everything he says, but he's a decent man. He believes what he says, and he's a friend of mine.
Changing his tune right now. There was a massive debate on Piers Morgan a few days ago where one of the guests was ripping into him, showing video after video after video of that twat ripping into Charlie Kirk. So this is the guy. Hold on, before I get an argument with you, we're talking about this twat, right?
This guy, yeah, this is Cenk.
Yeah, so we're talking about the same one. Yeah.
Okay.
That guy's talked so much shit about Charlie Kirk over the years. Maybe he's changing his tune now because of the backlash that everybody's getting.
Sure. But one thing I did see him say today, and this wasn't really a Cenk Uygur post or anything, but he did say, he's like, kudos and fair play to the right because they you know, for their consistency, their intellectual consistency, they've always been about free speech. And now when it's a right winger, Pam Bondi, who is saying, because broadly speaking, the right is pushing back very hard on this. They're saying, nah, bro, we don't want this shit. And he was just saying, you know, fair play on the right wingers right now because they're sort of walking the talk here. They've always been against free speech, and now even when it's a conservative pushing it, they're still against it.
As it should be. As soon as I saw that this morning, I made a video about this, just saying, guys, I don't care who does it. I don't care that you're doing it under the Republican, Democrat, liberal, or conservative. This is bullshit. I don't, you know, justice is hundreds, if not thousands of people losing their jobs for celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination on video and posting it online. Having their employers see this and say, you can't work for me anymore. Bye-bye. See, that is justice. That is beautiful justice to me. Let us take care of ourselves. Behavior. I don't need the government to tell us what we can and cannot say. Let the people decide what's acceptable behavior, what is not, because there's nothing illegal about being an asshole. This is part of free speech. I want 100% free speech. I'm an absolutist when it comes to free speech. Fuck this noise. You don't get to tell me what I can and cannot say. And like I've said before, I want to see the next Hitler rise. I want people to be so comfortable that they will record themselves celebrating somebody's death. I want this because I can identify who the twats are.
Yeah. And as an employer, you might not want to hire someone who is the type to celebrate a father's death. Cenk is the American version of Ezra Levant.
That's the guy from Rebel News.
Which one's
the guy from Rebel News?
Oh, okay. So what, is he a leftist Ezra Levant then? Because
no,
Ezra Levant is a...
Ezra Levant is a guy that a lot of people love to hate. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
He doesn't appear. I don't know the guy personally. I've never met him, but in his videos, he does sound pretty abrasive. So. Yeah,
The
he is not a common sense lefty. If that's what you consider a common sense lefty, I can show you a woke. I
well,
can show you a
I mean,
massive woke.
as far as I still stand by that comment, but it's more just an argument of how batshit crazy the left has gone, rather than how sane Cenk himself is.
He's the perfect representation of the crazy left. He's not as crazy as a lot of woke out there. Agreed, but goddamn. Eesh.
Well, and he is a left-wing influencer, so he does have to toe the line, probably more so than a normal person could be. As True North says, you're free to be an asshole, but there will be consequences. Yes, and that is exactly correct, right? It's not, no one's infringing your freedom of speech if you get fired because you're celebrating someone's death online. That's pretty sociopathic behavior, and there's lots of people who would not want to hire someone like that.
But I'm curious to see. I haven't been able to be on social today as much as I normally do. My son was just a fucking nightmare today. But I hope you're right that a lot of the conservatives, a lot of the Republicans out there are pushing back. Because the guy that I shared the video from, because the guy I shared the video from, he's a conservative, but he is very anti-Trump. He is not a fan of Trump at all. He's a Christian first and foremost. He will admit that some of the things he does is great, but he's always there to call him out. He's not scared of bashing Trump, and that's where I got the video from. But we need, as conservatives or as Republicans, we need to speak against this. We need to be the first one, like I did this morning, and make videos and talk against this, because this is bullshit. Nobody should be attacked for hate speech. Nobody. You don't get to say that Biden did it and Obama did it, and then once it's you that's in power, hey, it's our turn to do it. No, we're supposed to be the bigger people. So don't. I hope you're right that there's going to be a massive backlash, because all the articles that I'm seeing now, because I just Googled Pam Bondi, it's backlash, backlash, backlash. When I look at it,
I mean,
those weren't there. So
yeah, what do you guys think? Is that your perception? Is that most of the right is not going along with this? Because that's sort of how I've seen it.
I'm gonna have to do more research. I'm gonna research it more tomorrow to see what's the case, and I hope you're right, because if it's not that, we have a major problem.
Oh yeah, this the left is like, yes, good.
Yeah.
Mr. Doctor, thoughts on Anna Kasparin versus Destiny's Anna based in Red Pill Now? I saw clips of that debate. I didn't actually watch it, but Anna is pretty based. And in fact, she's when I say Cenk, because those were the only two of the young Turks that I really know. And she's like, I know she's been a pretty staunch supporter of women's rights as it relates to the trans issue. And also, I think she's also pretty tough on crime in a way that most liberals are not. She's like, I think she got robbed or something not long ago while walking home, and she's kind of like, fuck this shit. Like, we shouldn't have to live like this. Pretty strong call for dealing with the homeless problem, tough on crime, that kind of stuff. So she's not a bleeding heart lefty. She's not a bleeding heart woke liberal for sure.
I'm just trying to see. I don't follow them. Destiny, I can't stand that guy. Nothing.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
Oh no, but he's that little twat vegan that thinks he's smart. I can literally pick him up with one hand and spank him like his father should have done. And I don't know who
he'd like that though.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm looking at a picture of him right now. He'd probably get turned on and call me daddy. Yeah. But supposedly, I'm just looking at the reviews that supposedly he got steamrolled by Kasparian.
Well, see if you can find a short 30-second clip or something. We could throw that on.
It's all behind paywalls. People are charging for it, as far as I can tell.
Bullshit. Prairie says they'll say it's speech they hate to hear. Very dangerous when it's got feelings and egomaniacs. Yeah, I mean, look, in the UK, the hate speech bill, it's actually written in law as anything that causes offense to someone. Literally written like that. So all it takes is some jackass to say, I was offended. Well, anyone could be offended about anything. That's objectively idiotic to have that as your standard for hate speech. And that's the way it always goes. Once you introduce these laws, they will always be interpreted in the most controlling way, the most chilling way, as in to chilling of speech, because that's what those are intended for. They're intended to control you. They're intended to control your speech, and by extension, your thought. Right? It's thought crime. It's speech crime. It's all a giant mess. Like, have we all forgotten? 1984. Did we all just forget these things exist? Like, that book was a prophecy. It wasn't a novel. And we seem, or at least some of us seem, insistent on dragging us down that path.
Have a good one, True North. To address,
Yes,
not
good night, brother.
Alberta, but hold on. Logan White, Nico, do you know
Sam Piker is
Sank's
Jake's
nephew,
nephew?
Sam
I did
Piker?
not know that.
He has a massive audience. I don't know
I did
him.
not.
I absolutely don't. I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I don't follow a lot of the woke / crazy lefties. Like, I follow some,
Hi, brother.
but I can't follow enough of them. Like, I can't give my time to craziness that much. There's too many of them out there, and they all drive me nuts. They all strike me as the type of people that didn't get the beating they deserved as children, and now they grew up to be massive, pretentious assholes that really can't fight their way out of a wet paper bag, and that bothers me. If you're one of those twat men that thinks you're tough, but I can literally spank you, we got a problem. I just can't stand those people, but hey, that's just me.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I'm looking at him and I want to smack him. I don't even know who that guy is. Like, but look, I just Googled him, and look at this. Like,
oh yeah, that's a punchable
dude.
face.
Dude, he's wearing a fucking hat like a chuk in the middle of summer. Like,
and actually,
fucking hipster. Sorry.
90% of like how obnoxious he is his actual voice and his mannerisms. Like, pictures don't even do it justice when you actually see the guy talk.
So the same face
see if
he made.
See if you can find on.
Andrew Schwartz came in. I saw that face because I re-edited afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. See if you can find if you find a clip on X with the Anna Kasparin thing, it won't let you show it.
I don't know. I'm not really looking that hard to see two lefties argue at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true. Lewis says it's an endless cycle. You accuse me of hate, I can accuse you of hate. Money grab, control, fear the oppressors. Yeah, that's the issues, right? It causes so many more problems than it stops. It's not like it actually, like, if we're talking about incitement to violence, that's a different thing. That's not hate speech, and there's already laws against that. We don't need extra ones with vague and nebulous and ambiguous definitions like offended and hates, because anything can be defined as hate. If someone else is offended, I can be offended that guy wore that t-shirt. You know what I mean? And obviously that's an extreme example, but you see the slippery slope that we go down here.
I need to check now that you guys are talking about this. Somebody mentioned earlier about Bill C-63 that it was they talked about it again in the House of Commons. I'm gonna have to research that tomorrow.
Yeah, because that's pretty big news. That's pretty big news if they want to bring Bill C-63 back, which is, of course, the hate speech bill that shit the bed once the last election got called. Yeah. And we all thought that, dodged a bullet there. I remember we thought there's no way they'll reintroduce it in this sort of environment. Because even in the last 6 months to a year, a lot of people have started to wise up to like how harmful laws about hate speech actually are and how they can be used so improperly, like we see in the UK now, right? Old grandmas and grandpas getting arrested at 4 a.m. because they made a comment about immigration policy, or that they didn't like that the demographics of their small town was changing overnight. And some of them actually were probably legitimately offensive posts. But you know what? You're a fucking adult. What? It's okay to be offended. We cannot get down in a society where being offended by a word or a tweet, it means someone goes to jail. That's not a society that we want to live in.
We definitely need. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I will definitely start researching it tomorrow. And if it is really being spoken about, being tabled again, I'm gonna approach the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedom in order for them to come back on the show so that we
Yeah,
can
that would be big. I'd like
go
that.
through it. But there's another bill. It probably not. We spent more time than I thought. We had so much. Both you and I had problems on the same, like technical problem on the same.
Oh
show.
yeah,
It's
my
very
my
strange.
cameras.
CSIS motherfuckers.
They're after us.
No, but hold on. There you go. There was, I don't know if you heard about this. We won't have time to talk about it, but I already approached the Justice Center about this. But Mark Carney is said to table a new bill aimed at protecting places of worship, religious and cultural buildings. So he's literally trying to table a new bill that will protect mosques and places of worship.
That's that I don't. I mean, that's protect from what? Like from vandalism? That's already illegal. They're already protected. Like they already have the protections that they need. Now, what are they? They don't need special protection. Did he say mosques and houses of worship? Why would he need to say that? Because mosques are included.
You know what?
In
Since we can do, there's not going to be much debate on it because we don't have any information outside that it's been reported all over the place that they're going to table it. All I wanted to say is that I did approach the Justice Center in order to talk about this, and if it is tabled, we will have John back on the show to do a deep dive about this. But here's a quick video about it.
Mosques vandalized. Synagogues targeted.
What's the first word they use? Not the fact that more than 100 churches have been burned down to the ground over the past 3 years, right? No. A little window's broken on a mosque, so we need to do something about it. But listen to this.
Mosques vandalized. Synagogues targeted. A Jewish school repeatedly sprayed with bullets. And just this week, an arrest for an alleged plot to blow up a mosque, adding to urgent calls for action.
I feel like I'm reliving the same nightmare over and over and over again. Each time there's another threat, another act of violence, we hear the same promises of change. And yet, here we are again, still waiting.
Jewish groups say they're waiting too after witnessing a dramatic rise in anti-Semitism over the past 2 years tied to the conflict in the Middle East.
Parents have been harassed, dropping their kids off at daycare, at school.
CBC News has now learned the government plans to table new legislation as early as Tuesday.
All Canadians must be able to get up, go to work, go to their church, temple, mosque, community center, and then come home and sleep soundly at night.
After protests and incidents outside places of worship, a source says the government is expected to propose new criminal offenses, making it illegal to intentionally intimidate or obstruct people from accessing certain buildings.
Think of a synagogue for the Jewish community, a mosque, a church, but also community centers, schools, or specific places that are designed specifically for a given community.
A source says there will be an exemption so people can continue to protest as long as...
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
And who's doing the protesting? Yeah, who's doing the protesting exactly?
As soon as they're showing it, there's going to be exceptions
for leftists.
Free Palestine.
Don't worry,
protests.
the Free Palestine people will still be able to shut down streets. They'll still be able to make
it's legal. But the plan raises questions about what exactly crosses the line, while some question whether it will go far enough.
It's an important step in the right direction. It's not a comprehensive solution to all of the challenges that we face.
The Conservatives say they'll review the legislation once it's introduced, but add they've been calling for new measures that include protecting places of worship for 2 years and say the government failed to act.
So does that mean that Muslims are going to stop fucking praying in front of churches? Is that what I'm hearing? Or does that mean that wherever they are, it doesn't matter that it's in the middle of the street or in the church parking lot, that becomes a place of worship?
That will be a place of worship. Yeah, I bet you're right.
And this is exactly my point. I cannot wait to put my hands on that bill and go through it the way we did Bill C2, because I guarantee you that the place of worship is going to be movable now. If we are praying Place of worship.
It'll be like 2 or more people praying designated as a place of worship. So the intersection of Bloor and Dundas will be a place of worship. Hey, sorry, can't touch them. It's
obviously
just
this
just
is
nonsense.
all allegedly right now, but if we take care of Bill C2 and all the gray spaces that they created in there, as in anything in transit can now be looked at, because you might have transported goods that are eventually going to make it to the US, meaning that my basement, my garage, my truck, my pockets basically can be emptied because they might have got in contact with a good that will eventually make it overseas. You know, that type of shit is going to happen with this bill. Like, that smells like shit. And none of them, you know, if they would have started, at least if they would have started over the past 3-4 years, it's reported that something like 60 to 110 churches has either been extremely vandalized or completely burned to the ground, coast to coast to coast. But that's not a big problem, right? Nobody mentions the fact that all those churches has burned. Can you imagine if one single mosque had burned down? One. The best they could find is somebody breaking a window. Boo fucking ooh. That's already fucking illegal, like you said. But we've had 60 to 110 churches that were burned down to the ground. They don't exist anymore. And most of them are hundreds of years old. And they're like, no problem. We're good. We're good here. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Fucking blows my
It's
mind.
it's just like what it's already illegal. What that guy who was breaking that window in the first clip, already illegal. Why do you need more illegal? Well, like, what was the guy who was saying, like, every time this happens, we keep telling we're going to change. You can't legislate attitudes, bro. You can't legislate how people feel. All you can do is criminalize behaviors and destruction of property, vandalism, breaking windows. That's already illegal. And so it should be. Anyone who breaks windows in a mosque should be arrested. But we don't need special protections for places of worship. We just don't.
But I want to see what constitutes a place of worship. This is what
I guarantee you it's going to be something like
I'm calling it right
people
now.
praying.
If I have to trust the bills that they've been putting through, it's going to be basically anywhere that I can pray.
Yeah. Absolutely. Jim says, how do I know if my membership is working? These guys are getting paid. I'm just bringing that up because it reminds me. First of all, Jim, your thing is green, so you are paid up. Thank you for that. And guys, if you want to be like Jim, please consider becoming a member here. You could support this high quality, independent, be like Jim, high quality, independent media. If you support what Nico and I are trying to do, the community we're trying to build here, please consider becoming a member. You can do it through YouTube. That is a very low price of $2.99 per month, and it will give you a nice green name tag like Jim has.
By the way, guys, I'm working on something else. Sorry to cut you off, but I'm working on something else. I'm setting up Buy Me a Coffee I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm going to have the QR code at the bottom here, because I understand, like, we get so many of our views from X, and I understand that people that are on X normally don't like YouTube very much.
Don't want to come over.
I get it. So we're going to set up a Buy Me a Coffee on the Polyorphan page, and I will also have it on YouTube, because unlike YouTube, they only take 5% when YouTube takes about 30% of what they give is in YouTube's pocket. So I'm just setting up something in the meantime to get that running for the people that want to support, but that don't want to give money to YouTube, because I get it.
Yep. Mr. Doctor says, a street intersection counts as a place of worship for Muslims. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It'll be interesting to see when that law comes out, though. It will not surprise me at all.
But I'll just say, I already reached out. As soon as I heard about this, I reached out to the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedom. So we will have John on to do a deep dive like we did with Bill C5. And obviously, if Bill C63 is dropped again, we will do another deep dive. Because I'm going to make a lot of content about this one. If that is retabled, I'm going to lose my fucking shit.
Yeah, that'll be crazy. Mr. Doc says, do you think the Conservatives can build a coalition to vote down the Liberal budget? I don't think so. I think Carney's still got a pretty tight lockstep on the Liberal Party, but you never know. It really depends on what the budget is. He's got to come up with something because he's spending a shit ton of money, and right now it's on the credit card, right? So he's got to actually do a budget.
Yeah, well, talking about this, how about we play a little video about the budget that they're going to be tabling on November 4th, only 6 months after Carney became the Prime Minister of Canada.
We're going to present a great budget in this House on the 4th of November, Mr. Speaker. This is going to be a generational investment in our future. We're going to build this country, Mr. Speaker. We're going to empower Canadian. We're going to build the strongest economy in the G7. We're going to build this country like never before. We're going to build the Canada of the 21st century. Mr. Speaker, we are the true north, strong and free. Mr. Speaker, now that our conservative colleagues know the date of the budget, I hope they're prepared to go back in their writing to explain to Canadians this generational investment in our collective future, Mr. Speaker. I'm sure they're going to be proud to go back in their writing to say, we're building this country, Mr. Speaker, that this budget is going to protect their community, Mr. Speaker, that this budget is going to empower Canadians, Mr. Speaker, that this budget is going to build the strongest economy in the G7. I hope all the conservative and all members of this House will go out and tell Canadians, together we'll make it. We're the true north.
Like, look, if you noticed,
it's all slogans. It's all slogans. Like,
not only is it all slogans, but you look at the people behind him. They didn't believe him for 2 seconds. Like, at the end of the video, like 5 seconds left, they're like, "Oh shit, he's actually talking." God damn, he was actually talking this whole time. But
that stuff is so
generational investment. All I can hear is cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. They're just gonna print money once again.
Generational, as in it'll be your grandkids paying it off. That's what they mean.
Or they're bringing generations from somewhere else into Canada. There's a few ways we can see generational. We're gonna be paying for the generations of other people, and then your kids are gonna be paying for what we're talking about right now.
Yeah,
6 months,
right.
bro.
That's right.
6 months, and we're finally getting a budget, and he's making it sound like they're on the ball. Like, woof. Can you imagine? We did this in 6 months. They did nothing in 6 months. Like, literally, name one thing that helped that was done by the Carney government. One. I put you to the test. One. Name me one accomplishment that he's done. One. Can be any of his ministers, not even just him. One.
Devil's advocate.
Sure.
Putting the carbon tax down to 0. Obviously not as good as getting rid of it, but it's better than keeping it.
No, because he didn't remove it. He just slid it down. He already replaced it by something else. There's already another name. I keep on forgetting what it is, but it's coming back, and it's just not called carbon tax. It's called something else. So, no. Mr. Chihuahua gives me a headache. Is that me?
Yeah, he's no. The guy who was just talking.
Oh,
he's
I'm
got
like,
that
man,
Chihuahua.
I've been insulted a lot in my life. I've never been called. Oh yeah,
Well, called it Chihuahua.
Hey, we're the true north, bitch. We're the true north.
Yeah,
we're the true north. You're not the true north of anything.
Yeah. Chihuahua, big Chihuahua energy for sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Here's another funny one, since we're talking about since we're going to be talking about the Liberals doing what Liberals do. Did you see the announcement about Freeland? You didn't see that?
I don't
So
think
this all started with this post right here. Basically, it's been announced that Chrystia Freeland has resigned as Minister of Transportation to serve as special representative for the reconstruction of Ukraine. So basically, I'm calling it right now, Brookfield gave her a job in order to rebuild Ukraine. Because remember, Brookfield is in bed with the Ukraine. They have an IT park right now that they're heavily invested in, and they've been in negotiation with the Ukraine in order to rebuild Ukraine after the war, and now Freeland is getting kicked out, or sorry, she's been promoted. She's leaving office in order to go and become the special envoy to Ukraine for reconstructing it. Really. And you know what's funny is that this is what 401 is saying here. This comes after Freeland dismissed any federal role in BC Ferry's $1 billion deal with Chinese state-owned shipyard. Tell me this does not sound like the perfect situation. Oh shit, this is hitting the fan. How about we give you a job at Brookfield to go reconstruct Ukraine before you get exposed for saying yes to that $1 billion loan for BC Ferry for Chinese ship? Because she's the one that said yes to it. She can debate it all she wants, but that was news 4 or 5 months ago. She talked about it, so this is no surprise. And now she's leaving just when the House of Commons is back in and she could be questioned. It's a coincidence, right?
Hi, it's very, very coincidental.
It's all coincidence. The problem is I don't believe in coincidence. That's the problem. I don't believe in coincidences. That's the problem here.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, what I think is the funniest part?
It has a smell of corruption to it for sure.
Let me show you one thing, then give your opinion, because I can top it. I can top it and make it even better. Even Doug Ford. I want to thank my friend Chrystia Freeland for her many years of public service as an MP and minister, and for her dedication to Canada. I wish her all the very best in her next chapter. Even fucking Doug Ford is praising Chrystia Freeland for the work that she's done. Here we are, bro. A conservative praising the woke of the woke for the good job that she's done over the past 10 years in destroying Canada. Awesome.
Yeah, I don't understand what Doug Ford's all about. I don't get it. I mean, I guess on some weird level it's working because he's got a weirdly high approval rating in Ontario. But
liberals must love him.
You know, yeah, and that's what it is. He's governing. So he gets all the tribal conservatives who just are going to vote for the conservative no matter what, and he also gets the liberals who recognize that he's a liberal and vote for him. Will Falcock with a $2.79 tip. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
It's like a Tim Hortons. You didn't give your money to. Oh, before we go into this, just look at this. I always thought that Chrystia Freeland looked like a witch. You know the witch.
She kind of got the witchy look. Yeah, I get it. I can see it.
He looks like Mr. Burns, and she looks like the witch in what's the story with the witch of the West?
My pretty. Yeah. I'll get you,
the
my
witch
pretties.
of the West. That's what she looks like.
The wicked witch
Mr.
of the West.
Burns. Yes, sir.
Yep. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Did you know this? That's just a sideline. Like I'll take 2 seconds to talk about. But did you know that Tim Hortons is partnering up with Canadian Tires for a loyalty program? And then I started looking at it. I'm like, why would they partner up? Turns out that Canadian Tire, just like Tim Hortons, have been using the Foreign Temporary Worker Program,
of course,
as well as the International Mobility Program to staff their stores. So funny enough, it seems like the two Canadian companies that utilize foreign workers are partnering up for a loyalty program. And as I was saying on a post I did yesterday, if you guys don't like this, stop giving them their money. I will never buy anything at Canadian Tire again, and Tim Horton can suck on my left nut. Like, never again. Never will I ever encourage those people.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel that way. There's websites out now that show where all the temporary foreign workers are and how to avoid them.
Send that over, man. If you find it, send it over, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. Too many people says Canadians are paying to rebuild Ukraine while Canada crumbles. What the fuck? Yeah, see how it works is we pay to rebuild Ukraine while we crumble, but then later Ukraine's going to pay to rebuild Canada. That's just trust us, bro. Trust us. Ukraine will pay to rebuild Canada. Right, guys? Oh, yeah, of course we will. Sure. Zelensky's going to pay out of his he can afford it. He's got deep pockets these days.
There's man, that's a shame.
See,
I don't think
Prairie Tim Hortons isn't even Canadian owned anymore.
Nope. No, it's not. But Canadian Tire is. Just so you guys know, Canadian Tire is still owned by a Canadian company. Yeah, it is. Still there?
So I don't know. Is it lagging? I'm lagging. Am I?
I would say so.
You got me now?
Still
Okay,
seeing...
I was
yeah, I got you now.
All right,
we're good. We're both having problems at the same time.
Trevor Benson, apology to everyone. It's not a bad, certainly the argument of at least until we can figure our own shit out, because we're not doing so well right now. We're crumbling, right? We need to be rebuilt. We should probably rebuild ourselves first. Dasso's guys.
But keep on that, because I'll talk about it later on tomorrow, or I'll just make a video about this, but they're saying, as per the food banks of Canada, the price of food and rent has gone up 25% in the past 4 years. Food insecurities has grown 40% over the past 2 years. We are looking, as per Statistic Canada, 10 to 12% of Canadians are considered low income and living under the line of poverty. That's as per the Statistic Canada and the statistics that they use. But those are numbers I've shared before, but never together, because they're always talking about that 10 to 12%, which represents like 25.5% of Canadian households are struggling to afford food. But this morning I started doing some research, and as per the Fraser Institute, the average Canadian family spends 43% of their income on taxes, 22% on shelter, which is your home, electricity, heating, could be as high as 30% if you're in a place like Toronto, Vancouver, 12% on food, 2% on clothing. But one of the things that they never talk about is transport. Transport alone covers about 13 to 15% of their after-tax income. Literally, at the end of the year, if you remove shelter, taxes, food, clothing, transport, the average Canadian family is left with 6.1% to 4.7% of their total income after their basic necessities are met. And if you start adding things like cell phone, internet bills, daycare, and education cost to the numbers I just gave you, the average Canadian family spends between 91.2% to 103% of their income, depending on where they live. And those numbers are based on an average household salary of $130,000.
Yeah,
which that is not the average family that I know. But if you consider the necessities plus cell phone, internet, daycare, and the cost of schooling, you're looking at 91 to 103%. No vacation, no nothing. You're literally driving to work, you're coming back, and that is basically what you're saying you're doing. There was a survey done in 2023 that showed that 1 out of 4 Canadian households could not cover an unexpected expense of $500. But then I started looking in the numbers, and they break it down by age group. And of course, the boomers, they're 65 and above, was only 19% of them would have problems covering an unexpected bill of 500. So 81% of them would be okay. So what I did is I subtracted the 65 and above, and I concentrated on the 35 to 54 because the most hit by this are the 18 to 24. They're the one that are struggling the most. But I took guys our age between 35 and 54. 1 out of 3 household in Canada cannot afford a $500 unexpected expense. That was in 2023. And ever since 2023, the unemployment rate has raised 34%. And there's a study by Statistic Canada that came out last year called the Canadian Social Survey, indicated that 49% of Canadians in 2024 struggled to pay for daily necessities. So even the numbers I've been using were wrong. 49%. 49%.
Yeah. So that's a good argument for why we probably shouldn't be spending a lot of foreign aid, right? Analogy I always like to use, and I've come up with this myself, is if you're in a plane and the gas masks come down, you know, you always put it on yourself first so that you can then put it on the kid or something beside you. Now, I like to use that analogy. I pretty much invented that one. That's all mine. But you know, not listen to what I'm saying, all right?
I'm reading the comments. I didn't hear what you said. Sorry, bro.
Oh, okay. I was saying analogy I always like to use, one that I invented, is if you're in an airplane and the oxygen mask comes down, you put it on yourself first.
Of course.
So that you can help the kid beside you. Yeah. I often like to use that analogy, and I came up with it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I've never heard of that one before. That's a great one.
No.
I think I'm going to start using it starting today.
Well, I'll let you use it. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome.
But it's insane, man. But the numbers are just absolutely insane. And I doubled and tripled and quadrupled those numbers. They all come from Statistic Canada and Fraser Institute. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely fucking insane where we are. And you know, a lot of the times, again, what Dr. Watley said, we cannot be a welfare state at the same time as having open border policies.
Yeah, pick one.
And the numbers I just gave you are what 10 years of bad liberal policies have done to our country. And, you know, most of the time we don't give solutions, but here's what I got. Cancel the temporary foreign worker and international mobility programs. Stop giving international students work permit. Do not give foreigner access to our social services like healthcare, social housing, and education unless they have contributed for a few years. Remove all red tape preventing us from exploiting our natural resources. Stop sending our tax money overseas. And lastly, close our border. We need to seriously reform our immigration policies if we want to make the Canadian dream possible again. And if you agree, share it. Contact your MLA, your MP, and voice your concerns. Because at the end of the day, there's something that needs to give. We can't continue doing what we're doing right now. And because those numbers are 2025. Like, they literally came out with this today. It's absolutely insane. It's fucked up that 1 out of 3 Canadian between the age of 35 and 55 cannot afford a $500 unexpected expense. $500.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. We're not in great shape.
But the numbers are there. 91% to 103% of your salary is spent on necessities on top of cell phone, internet, daycare, and the cost to put your kids to school. Primary school and high school, not university. Primary school and high school. So what the fuck are you supposed to do when you're taxed at 42.3% of your salary? Right off the bat, 43% of your salary is gone.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna get worse too. Yeah, like I said, if you look at these jobs numbers, they're coming in every month with higher. And see if I can get the last couple months. They're getting worse and worse.
They weren't good. To a point where the Bank of Canada is announcing that they will be cutting the interest rate. They will be dropping it for the first time in 3 or 4 consecutive quarter. So I think it's the first time in like a year or something like that that they will be dropping the interest rate. So it's bad, bro.
I think there's, they're expecting a rate drop tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, eh?
But like August lost 66,000 jobs. That's, I mean, in Canada, that's a lot. You hear, so August fell by 66,000. July was 41,000. June was 83,000. So it's not looking good. And of course, these are tariffs,
not government jobs.
When they get added, it's government jobs. When they get taken away, it ain't that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that's tariffs. Not a whole lot you can do about that, unfortunately. But there are things you can do, like build pipelines, get export capacity on both coasts, dig out minerals from the ground, develop the Ring of Fire. Not only will those things themselves increase GDP, but just the infrastructure projects of getting these built will put millions of Canadians back to work. Lewis says they want to force us to the UBI.
That is what I think, 100,000 million%. It's the only, did you see that a couple of weeks ago? Even Elon Musk talked about this. He actually posted about how universal income will be needed. And it's going to be a great thing. We're going to be able to liberate people to pursue their passion.
I think it's I think it's probably coming.
They tested it during COVID. What do you think that
it didn't? I don't think it worked.
Payment was. No, of course it did.
Yeah.
Oh, of course it did.
No.
A lot of people stayed on that stuff and just like, hey, we'll play video game, smoke weed, and drink alcohol because all those places are still open for me to go get my shit.
Yeah, that's right. Can't work out though. Gyms aren't open.
Can't work out, can't do martial art, can't go to church, but you're capable of buying all the weed and the alcohol that you need.
Go to the VLTs and get booze. Yeah. All right, guys. We are gonna pin it there. Yeah, nothing at all. We're gonna pin it there. Try to keep under 2 hours. If you watch the whole show, then you'll know we had what was Jay with Mad.
Yes, Jay. Hold on, it's Mad Lab is the name of his channel.
Yeah, Mad.
Jay Bannister.
Jay Bannister from Mad Lab was an excellent interview. If you are showing up late, go back and check that out because it's really he had a great discussion about the protests that happened over the weekend and kind of some of the irregularities in the policing of those protests. Other than that, some excellent engagement, lots of great comments, guys, as always. Member to, if you want to support the show, please consider becoming a member for the low price of $2.99 or throw us a tip as who was it that did that? Wilf Alcock.
Appreciate it, brother.
Giant Wilf with the giant Alcock. And that was Lewis, thanks guys, great conversations. Thanks for showing up, Lewis. Guys, have a great night. We will catch you tomorrow, Wednesday, as always, 8 p.m. And if you want to tune in for an hour earlier, you can check out Nico's show at 7 p.m. with David Craden. Yeah, a little bit of cross.
Big brains, a little bit of
Rob. Yeah. Look at the big. Yeah, that's right. They call it a Royale with cheese.
That's it. Oh, big good for you for catching the joke. Good for you, bro. Look at the big brains on Rob.
Look at the big brains on. What is these? What just the writing in that movie was so great. That's what I like about Quentin Tarantino movies. Just the writing is so, it's like really snappy, right? It makes you feel a certain way.
Yeah, I love
his guys,
movies.
Enough of that.
Yep. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Guys, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.